It's our chart of the day. Revenue missed, shares are down, as I said. Guidance was below expectations. Bill Baruch joins us now because he owns the stock. He declared to us today that it's, quote, on the chopping block. So are you selling it today?
I'm not selling it today. I want to see how we get through this week. And it feels like it actually was about 3 months ago. I was sitting here saying the same thing. It's on the chopping block. It ended up holding, in a broad market sell-off, $100, which is a pretty critical level psychologically as well as technically. But a second time down here, I'm less enthusiastic about it. Again, second bad quarter in a row. They're clearly not able to capitalize on the AI move, the movement there. But Larry Ellison was obviously upbeat on the call last night. He's talking about data centers. I'm concerned about the scalability in data centers. Though he is hyping the EPS. I mean, estimates for the next quarter out are confirmed. So if they're able to work the EPS at 132, I think 132, 135, 139 is the estimate above analysts on the guidance of 127. If they can hit that, it could really generate some serious free cash flow down the road. But I mean, again, it comes back
Bill.
to the cloud here. Yeah.
I'm a former Oracle shareholder, and fundamentally, I like the story. What's the risk management here? If this stock ends the week below its weekly closing 200-day moving average, which it looks increasingly likely, is that the point where you just say, all right, the trade is over, and maybe I'll re-enter it at some point, or is there something fundamental that you're using instead? I'm just curious how you think about that.
Well, first, from a broader picture here, I want to be rotating out a bit of tech. I'm way too heavy in tech right now as I'm looking into next year. And I'm happy with tech in general as we get some momentum in December. Oracle's left in the dust. So that's really the first one here on the chopping block. I was on the show last week and talked about a cut in Marvell. So Oracle's next. And $100 here, that's the level. So we go into the Fed tomorrow. If we have a broad market move down, I think Oracle would actually outpace some of the other stocks holding it a bit better. $100 is also the 382 retracement coming back down to those 2022 lows. So it's a big line in the sand there. Again, I'm not too enthusiastic about it, but I like to make decisions if I can on a weekly basis and see if it can respond to support here. But regardless, it's going to be one of the first names that I'm looking to cut here as I rotate into more financials and healthcare into looking out to 2024.
Yeah, I don't want you to bury that last comment that you made as you look to enter, financials and maybe healthcare or whatever else. What specifically are you looking to buy within any of those spaces?
Yeah, looking at financials broadly here, we own Bank of America, JP Morgan, as well as Morgan Stanley. Now, I want to build up Bank of America a bit more. I think it can outpace next year. I think the yield curve, we'll see that steepen. And if you see Bank of America overlay with a 10-year Treasury yield, it's been basically, or 10-year Treasury price actually, when we're seeing yields up, this thing's selling off. I'd like to get this, add to it at a bit of a better price. Now, regionals are also on my radar, but the problem with regionals here, you take a look at a name like Bank of OZK, and it's really outperformed well. And you take a look at a name like Citizens, and it has underperformed, obviously, greatly. Now, do we see a reversion of that, and some of the underperforming ones really outperform next year, and then you're sort of missing it, or you're really taking some risk with that? I like leaning into the big names right now. Bank of America is on top of my list. If I don't take more risk into a bank that could capitalize on yields, I would then look to Morgan Stanley instead and increasing my exposure there, or maybe adding a name like Goldman Sachs. But again, in 2024, I think we're going to see those financials really have a solid year.
All right, Bill, appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Good update. Now to Dom Chu, who has a market flash.